Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You are welcome from wherever you are watching us to this episode of the Sedat HR Digest. It's going to be a very engaging conversation where we would be sharing insights from our just ended HR conference, which was held on the 27th of March last week, Thursday, at the Takoradi Western Serene Atlantic Hotel. So wherever you are, I just want you to share in the comment section where you are watching us from. All right. So we had an amazing experience at the Takoradi Western Serene Hotel, where we had very inspiring speakers who equipped us with knowledge to help us integrate employee well-being into our organizations. And I'll be having one amazing participant who'll be joining me here for the conversation. Now, let me see you wherever you are watching us from in the comment section. Just type where you are watching us from. All right. I can see Mr. Michael Kisi, and you are watching from Kumasi. We are so glad to have you join us on the call, Mr. Michael. Right. Ernest Duku, I see you. Great. First of all, I would like to thank our CEO for the opportunity, and I would also like to thank her for the Sedat HR conference. This year's edition was extremely impactful. Thank you, Madam Patricia. All right, so we just get right into the conversation. I would have our participant joining us here. So I'm going to be doing something which has been quite difficult, relating with people without adding up a title, but just referring to them by their first names. So I'm going to have Andrew join us on the call. Now, if you're on the call, if you can write, yes, okay. So I want someone from the comment section to let me know where this is coming from, where you just relate with people by their first names without including titles to their names. Let me see who gets that right. If you get that wrong, it means you didn't participate in the session. All right, I see Sam watching from Accra. Sam Okran, we are so glad to have you join us. I see Eugene also watching from Hato. All right. Okay, so kindly share the link on your various platforms so that we could have others join in and have the valuable insights that will be shared by our guest speaker today. I'm not getting anyone give me the answer for why we are relating with people by just their first names. All right, so let's just have our guest join us in. So I'll kindly have Mr. Andrew join us. Right. Hello, Andrew. I keep saying Mr. Andrews. Hello, Andrews.
Hello, Supernatural. How are you?
Yes, I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing okay.
Yes, we are so glad to have you here with us, and we are so excited to hear you share your insights with us. I know you are not aware, but I really had to glance at you during the conference as you were paying rapt attention. I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to hear your insights from these sessions. Yes, so Andrew, just briefly let us know who you are, what you do, like in 1 second, 2 seconds, and let's move right into the conversation.
Okay, so thank you very much for the opportunity. My name is Governor. I'm an HR practitioner. I've been practicing for over 4 years now, and I'm into L&D, write articles for magazines. So briefly, and currently I am the assistant HR manager for Zeal Environmental Technologies, which is in Takoradi here. So
Okay.
briefly or basically, it's me.
Is Andrew still on the call with us?
Can you hear me?
Right. Okay, we lost you for a while, but that was a brief introduction. Thank you for that. So let's just get right into the conversation. First of all, I would just like to know your impression when you first saw the theme of the conference, and also what motivated you to participate in the conference. Was it the theme, the speakers, or something else? Just let us know.
Oh, okay. So first of all, I would like to commend your team for putting up this together. I mean, ordinarily, you will see that after every conference, you will be throwing out the surveys, the
Yeah,
Microsoft or Google Forms out, to gauge their feedback. But this is a step further, and I think
yeah,
I must commend Sedat HR team for putting this together. To share with people who couldn't have the benefit of joining the conference, the main conference. So I would say a big thank you to your team for doing this. Yes, I think the impression and about the topic and then the what motivated me. I would say both the team and then the speakers. I mean, if you look at the portfolios, the profiles of the speakers, I mean,
yeah,
you would not be anything than be motivated because you could see the vast experience that these speakers have, their
right,
qualifications, their credentials. So yes, the speakers and their profiles were a bit top, and I would say that's one. Then I can also talk about the team, from policy to
right,
practice. So
exactly.
initially, I thought, we are going to discuss how you can, draft, design, or uh, develop a well-being policy through to the implementation, then down to the evaluation or the measurement phase.
Yeah,
Uh, After the conference, you realize that you could get ideas to build or develop your well-being policy, and then through the policy, you don't have to let it just sit in the books or on the shelves. So you have to implement it, and after implementing, you have to measure them or evaluate its effectiveness or impact on the employees. So I think that really motivated me to
motivated
join.
you.
I mean, it was my first time joining Sedat Teacher Conference, and just like it's
Wow.
my first time joining the your webinar series. Yes. So
Yeah.
yes.
All right. Thank you for that. And you were already getting into our next aspect of the question session. And so let's just move right into that. I would love for you to just share a few takeaways from the sessions. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I
Your
think
key takeaways.
I jotted down. Yes, I jotted down a bit. If you permit me, I will just quickly run you through them.
Sure. I
I don't
actually
know
saw
if
you
some of
writing a lot.
them. Yeah. So I think some of them, if you want me to, shed a bit more light on them too, I'll do that. But I'll quickly run you through them and then see
All right.
how.
That's fine.
So I think we can talk about, I mean, among all the speakers, you made mention of the fact that the first name culture was okay. And during your introduction, during your preamble, you made mention of that. So I think the first name culture thing was one that Mr. Totti, implemented in one of his organizations, and it really worked for him. We can also make mention of the fact that spiritual room was also one of the things that Mr. Totti, the keynote speaker, also implemented, which gave room for the Muslims or the Muslim workers, to more or less on Fridays, go and pray instead of leaving the office and going outside the office to visit the mosque, so that it beats the productivity, time lost.
Mhm.
So I think that one also was key. I'll also mention standardized uniform. That was also from Mr. Totti, where
Yeah.
he joined the organization, and then you realize that the managers and then the lower employees were not, wearing the same uniform. There were uniform differentiations. So he also standardizing the uniform where everybody wears the same and everybody feel like ever felt like they were all equal. I could also mention prioritizing yourself, putting yourself first as a HR professional. So one of the speakers also made mention of this one, that before you can take care of your employees, you first of all have to take care of yourself first. And this also moves me to the empathy bit, where you have to
Mm.
first of all be self-aware before you can care for others. So all these areas, we are in the arena of emotional intelligence, which has
Yeah.
self-awareness and then empathy as their component or element. So this was key, that you have to lead and manage employees with empathy, because if you are self-aware, you should be able to manage with empathy, where you can put yourself in other people's shoes, especially workers' shoes, and then help them out. I can also mention the about the tailoring web initiatives to the organization and then the employee needs. You see, the
Right.
web initiatives are numerous. There are many. So, and what be initiative that might work for company A might not work for company B. And
Right.
therefore, when you want to choose an initiative, you should make sure that it aligns with the company's goals,
Mhm.
financial capacity, capability, and also it, addresses the needs of the workers. You understand? So that was also one of the key takeaways. I can mention the health bit, the health screening, and then the spraying, where one of the speakers made mention that some of the managers, they go to their houses and conduct some spraying exercise for them, just to kill mosquito or any other bacteria. Or so that was also a great initiative that was taken by one of the or that worked
Mm.
for one of the speakers. That was also key. I can mention the daycare, where mothers, new mothers, at the workplace, you set up a daycare to, for them to, put their children there, go and breastfeed them, come back to the office. It is one area or one initiative that, if your company has the capacity, the financial muscle, you can also implement. I also mentioned psychological safety. I really jotted down a lot, so I have to be
Yeah.
going through them. Yes. I think I'll mention psychological safety. So we are building an organic culture, and you can't build a culture that's not psychologically unsafe. So if you want to ensure that your culture thrives or build a strong culture, you should ensure that everybody feel free to speak up. I mean, we
Yeah.
can go into the law and talk about the fundamental human right of having the freedom and the right to speak up. That's another conversation. But the psychological safety thing is really key. As HR professionals in the organizations, you have to ensure that people speak freely. If they want to criticize, you be constructive. So nobody,
Yeah.
fear or favor that they have to censor, whatever they're going to say, or try to bottle everything in for the fear of being victimized or punished. So I think that also was a key takeaway.
Yeah.
I'll
Right.
mention, yes.
So, which of the speakers could you really resonate with most, and why?
Oh, okay. I think they all did well, but I think Mr. Afre, I think the head of Talo, his
Yeah.
section, his presentation, I mean, it was there for me. All the speakers, spoke around, different topics and approaches,
Yeah.
but he came in with the people or data, HR analytics bit,
On the
where
ground.
he spoke to data. Yeah, he spoke to data. As HR professionals, we have to speak to data. It is not always about the words. The numbers are also key. So when he
Yes.
came in with the numbers, bit, I was impressed because I love HR analytics, people analytics. So Mr. Alfred's session and the whole data, he spoke to data, global data regarding employee well-being, and he drilled it down, narrowed down to country specific, to which is to Ghana, and showed
Yeah.
us countries or organizations that really prioritize employee well-being outperform those that do not. So the data bit, the data analytics, HR from, throughout the employee life cycle, we generate lot and lot of data. So you could, from recruitment through to, offboarding or employee separation, you could see the chunk of data that we generate. But the question is, what do we use the data for?
Yes,
So if we
exactly.
are able to, draw insights from the data and then use it to make informed decisions, it will help. And that is where we have to channel our attention to now, because we
Yeah.
are in the era where, digital HR people or HR analytics is really the thing now. Because HR, move way back from welfare officer to personnel management to human resource management down to strategic, HR management. Now we are in digital and people analytics. So when he presented that, especially the live survey scores and analysis, it was it
Mhm.
for me. It was it for
Yeah.
me. So I think his one was about. I mean, all overall they all did well, and I was really impressed. Yes.
All right. I think when you were sharing your insight, you made mention of how that if an organization is setting out to do something, it has to be in line with their objectives, and we must have in mind the employees, and the exact needs of the employees must be factored. We must not assume their needs, but actually know their exact needs and make sure that what we are setting out to achieve is in line with the objectives of the organizations and their strengths are being taken into consideration. So I want you to briefly share with us what you think is the role of leadership in integrating employee well-being into our organizations. How leaders can be more supportive, the role of leadership.
Oh, okay. Yes. You see, everything, in an organization, everything rises and falls on, leadership. They will tell you that uh, leadership is a cause, everything else is effect, and it's true.
Yeah.
Imagine you drafting or developing a nice well-being policy and, taking it up there and they don't buy into it. You don't get the approval. It basically, amounts to nothing. So it is key that they give us our support, because as HR, we really pay attention to whatever that is going on with employees.
Mhm.
And if we have a tailor-made, uh, employee well-being initiative and we, present it to management, they should, side with us and then give us the approval. But before we can also send the proposal or the initiative to them or sell it to them, we have to make sure that we are able to do the cost benefit analysis. If,
Okay.
for example, we should be able to speak to data. If you want to implement a birthday celebration, in the form of recognition for the employees, you should be able to convince management that when we do this, or we have really solicited for their views and they are okay, and it will make the employees happy. If this will make the employees happy and you have the data, you did a survey and they all opted for birthday celebration package, you can present that data to management that this is it. Greater majority of the employees have agreed or, bought into the idea of, doing this for them, which will make them happy. And even through your stay interviews, when you conduct stay interviews or stay survey, It could tell you why they are there and what they intend to, what they expect the organization to do for them in order for them to stay. So if you ask employees what do you want us to do for you in order for you to stay
Mhm.
for long, which is one of the retention strategies you want to put in place, they can tell you that when you do ABCD for them, it will make them happy. You can take that data and then sell it to management so that you have a proof. You understand? So I think
Yeah.
how we as HRs we present the proposals or initiatives to management is key. And when we
Okay.
bring it to the attention of management or when we bring it to the table, they should also give us, the support because management, I mean, it's everything now. The organization, everything rests on their shoulders. Yes.
All right, Andrew. So when your proposal is accepted, approved, and you've implemented this initiative, how would you intend to measure the success of integrating employee well-being into your organization?
Oh, okay. Yes. I mean, just like every training, every policy, at a point, if you are done with the implementation, you have to, evaluate it to see its impact, both on the
Yeah.
employees and then on the organization, as a whole. So, yes, measurement, evaluation is key. With employee well-being initiatives, we are in the realm of feelings. Most of these initiatives that we implement is for the employee to feel good and better,
Mhm.
happy. We are talking about employee engagement and other positive
Exactly.
HR outcomes. So yes, performance, productivity, all those HR outcomes. So when we when as HRs, we have to make sure. Okay, okay. So when we want to measure or evaluate the impact of some of these initiatives, we will be delving more into the qualitative data analytics because
Right.
you will gauge how they are feeling. How do you feel when we initiated this? How do you feel? How did you feel? So it is
Yeah.
more of qualitative data, and these things can be done simply by way of interview is one, survey is one, questionnaire is one. So this way you can really gather the feedback and know whether your initiative is really making impact on the organization or on the lives of the employees. So I think these tools, measuring tools will help you. And after you do your analysis, then you just pose, year on year, month on month, then I think you should be able to speak to it. Yes.
Right. So, viewers, wherever you are watching us from, I want you to drop in the comment section your impressions of the conference, what motivated you to participate, some of your key takeaways from the conference. Just drop that in the comment section and we will read that out shortly. Right. So, Andrews, during the session, I'm sure that as you were listening to the speakers, there were a few initiatives that were coming in mind that you would want to implement. I would like for you to share with us any initiative at all that, as a result of this conference, you would implement. That's with regards to integrating employee well-being into your organization. Right.
Right. I think yes. There are some that we have, started already with my current company. There are some that I, as HR manager, implemented in my previous company. So, for example, in my previous company, I, you know, implemented the birthday celebration thing where we do flyers, to celebrate,
Yeah.
employees and their, birthdays. And it was really good. The reaction, the feedback was positive. Now, with my current company, we have implemented the same initiative, but however, in a different way. Because in my previous, company, it didn't come at a cost. You just get the digital marketer, the employees' photo. You can even take in picture. Then you just do it and then you post it, and the person is happy. Now, in my current company, we are not doing the flyer, but we are doing package, lunch package, with
Wow.
others. So we give packages to celebrants. So and the feedback, the reaction is positive. So you see the same initiative, but in a different way. It means that you have to tailor your initiative, web initiative, to the needs of your employees. So this is a typical example.
Yeah.
So it's one thing that we are doing currently with my current employer. Now we are also doing sporting activities. Now when we joined as new HR team, our company was doing bi-yearly sporting activities, and it was inter company, inter organization. So you couldn't get most of the employees to participate. Now, when we joined, we decided to review it and change it a bit. So now what we do is every year in April or Easter, we do interdepartmental sporting activities, which is geared towards promoting the well-being, the health, energizing the workers, and also fostering team bond, team bonding. So
Yeah.
that's currently what we are doing, and it is you can see that the excitement is high. People have started asking, when are we setting the date for this year's program, sporting activity?
Yeah.
Because one department was a champion last year, and to take the cup from them. You see, all these
Exactly.
things, it brings out, yeah, promotes the well-being of the employees. That's also what we are doing, and we are also doing the open door policy. As
Yeah.
HRs, we have to position ourselves in a way that the employees will have trust in us. We
Yeah.
have to be more professional and then ensure, confidentiality, so that they can be able to approach you, come to your office, and talk to you about their personal issues. So the open door policy is one thing we are also implementing, which is good. Other people can adapt. I think it's going on. But the key thing is, because there are some people, they will never go to HR because of what they have experienced or what the HR is doing. And that doesn't position us well. So I believe that as HRs, we should send a good signal, gain the trust of the employees, so that they can come close to us, open our doors to them. Then they share with us. Then we, offer some of this advice. I remember one of the speakers mentioned that the EAP is still relevant. The counseling
Yes.
sessions, the psychological sessions. If you are a company and you can afford, have the financial muscle or capability, you should be able to set up on some of these things, just to
Yeah.
cater for the psychology, and then yeah. So I think that is good. Then the bit about flexible working hours. I mean, we are talking about work-life balance. So
Yeah.
flexible working hours, even though some companies have it, concretely, captured in their policies, but some of us, we do it even though we don't have them, captured in our policy, but we do it informally. So, for
Mhm.
example, if a worker calls a supervisor that there's an issue at home, and therefore the person will be late for an hour or two, the supervisor should be able to, at his level, deal with this without coming to HR. So one of the speakers made mention of the fact that we have to coach the line managers and make them, I call them line HRs. I mean, the professional certification or institutions, they will teach you that as HR, you manage the people with their supervisors. So you assist the supervisors or managers to manage their employees. So your job is to coach them, support them, to manage them well. That is why, as a leader or a manager, you should be able to have that people management skills. So if they don't have, it is your duty as HR to train them and coach them on it. Now, if a worker calls in, I mean, like the example I have cited now, you should be able to handle it, because the person wants to come late because he has to attend to some urgent issues, but will come and maybe will stay 2 hours, late to finish up. You should be able to be flexible and accommodate this. You don't have to necessarily put in your some of the companies, you don't have to necessarily put it in your policy, hard document, but you can do it informally. Oh, going forward, when your worker calls in to be, late for 1 hour or two, just allow, just because sometimes you can also see that the workers who stay in because of a project that they have to complete, a deadline that they have to meet, they will stay, they'll do extra hours and they don't take overtime or extra money. So that flexibility in the working hours is also one thing that we should be, we pay much attention to it. There are more that I can go through with you, but if there's more time, but it's all about whatever that I've mentioned, I've enlisted up there, the various well-being initiatives that I have, touched on. If you want to implement some in your organization, you have to start small. You have to start small and take into consideration the financial model because some of these initiatives they come with cost. But if you are able to, speak to data and then get your facts right and present it to the top there, hallelujah, you can get the buy-in. But if you want to start small. If your company is struggling with office space, you don't go and propose a daycare for your employees. I mean, it won't work because they don't even have the space to, dedicate for the daycare thing. And you are going to, so you have to
Right.
be realistic. You have to be realistic, yes. So I think some of these things, I think we should pay attention to it. Yeah, so I think that's what I can say for now.
All right, thank you, Andrews. And these initiatives are very important because the goal should be that workplaces are places where people are fulfilled, right? And there is growth for them. So it must be organized in such a way that every aspect of their lives are being taken into consideration, right? So, Andrew, all right, so let's get into this aspect of the um, conversation. I want you to share with us that part of the conference where you went like, I'm glad I, I, I registered, I'm glad I came. That aha moment of the conference.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I think I've mentioned it already, but it's about the Mr. Afresh session. Yes,
Family affair,
that
right?
live survey and analysis
Yeah,
really was it for me. It was top for me. I mean, I was like, this is it, because I was wowed. Yes, so take some of these experiences. HR professionals, I mean, the next time that we organize some of these conferences, I mean, they should participate. These are the experiences that you can't get. There's no second-hand experience. It can never be like the face-to-face in-person thing. So I think that was it for me. That was it for me.
right.
Yes.
So I see a few people in the comment section. Um, hello, Godana from Kumasi. I see you, Josephine, watching from Takoradi. I see you, Elizabeth. Thank you for joining us. You can share with us your impressions about the conference, your takeaways. You can put those in the comment section. Right. So we are moving ahead. So Andres, I would want to know if okay, before that, would you recommend this conference to anyone, and why would you recommend the conference?
Oh, okay. Yes, I mean, anytime, any day, I will do that. Anytime, any day, because I mean, this is my first time experiencing, you know, the Sedat HR conference, and I must say that I was really impressed, and I really learned a lot. Initially, I knew, you know, well-being to be, work-life balance, stress management, So when I came, when I attended the conference, I realized that there's a holistic approach to this well-being thing. So you could see that well-being touches, the social, the financial, the total well-being of the employee. So it is more holistic than the sub, knowledge that we had. So it really broadened our perspectives, and then elevated our horizon. So I believe anybody that uh, is out there that wants to, network, if you want to network, this is the opportunity for you. If you want to gain more insight into HR functions, it is also good for you. I would recommend it to all HR professionals who want to network. I mean, they say your network is your network. So I believe that if you want to, network with more people, gain experience from, these are tacit knowledge that the experienced HR speakers will share with you. You won't get it anywhere. And as HRs and business leaders, you should be able to attend this conference and then gain some insight. Yes.
All right, Andrews. And would you have any final words to our HR professionals out there? Any final words you would like to share?
Come again.
I was saying if you would have any final words for our HR professionals who are watching us from all over the world.
Oh, okay. Yes. I think I will say that let all prioritize employee well-being. I mean, there's lot and lot of positive HR outcomes that we could get for implementing some of these initiatives. So as HRs, we should prioritize employee well-being. It is one area that much attention has not been given to it, but its uh, importance and relevance and the positive HR outcomes that it generates is huge. That is why I was impressed when a data was related to it, just for us to appreciate what employee well-being can do. So my final words will be that as HR professionals, please let's prioritize employee well-being. Yes.
All right. Thank you, Andrews. And any shout outs to anyone?
I will say, a huge thank you to Madam Patricia, CEO One, for the opportunity, and also, lest I forget, the magazine, if you can share with the audience, they should, read it, especially the column where I penned on technology and then employee well-being was really a relatable article they should read. If you can share with them, I think it is good. So I would say a big thank you to Madam Pat, the CEO, and then the Sedat team for putting this together. I mean, this is the first time I'm seeing this. So I think, yes, that is it.
All right. Thank you so much, Andrews. It's been such an insightful conversation with you. I knew you had a lot to share with us when I saw
Yes, yes.
you jotting down a lot of things during the conference. I was really anticipating this. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.
I can see a few people in the comment section. Let me just write. I see anointing from East Legon. This sounds so inspiring. I should sign up for the next conference. Yes, you should sign up for the next conference. So our next conference is coming up in Kumasi. So follow us on all our social media platforms to get updates on that. I think I see, all right, I've already seen Elizabeth. All right, thank you all for joining us. This is Sedat Consults, and this is the Sedat HR Digest, which happens every Sunday at 4 p.m. We'll be having a lot of other sessions with regards to our insights from the just ended conference, and we'd love for you to join us. Make sure that you keep sharing the link to your on your social media platforms to have others also get these insights. Okay, Gordana says, thank you for your services. Yes, thank you, Gordana. I hope I'm pronouncing your word right, your name rightly. Yeah, so we are into recruitment and talent acquisition. We are also into training and development. We are into outsourcing, staff outsourcing. We are into event management. So you can reach out to us via our social media platforms and we would assist you. All right. A few other comments. All right. So thank you so much for joining this session. And we would have you in our next session that will be coming Sunday, 4 p.m. same time. Once again, I would like to thank Madam Patricia for the amazing work that she's been doing over the years with the HR conferences and the Sedat HR Digest. I would like to thank the Sedat team as well for being so supportive and helping Madam Patricia carry out this vision and filling up the gaps in our organizations. Right, from policy to practice, it has been so insightful, and we look forward to having you join us in our next episode. Thank you, Andrews.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Welcome to Sedat HR Conference 2024, happening live at the Micklin Hotel, Kumasi. This year's theme is Navigating Generational Diversity, a roadmap to organizational effectiveness. Join us for an educative, transforming, and amazing time. On the bill, we have Mr. Samuel Kwesi Techi from Asante Gold Bibiani Limited.
As we put a trend line through our HR landscape across generations, it becomes very clear that the face of HR in organizations has metamorphosed with changes to social, economic, and political factors or challenges confronting our cherished Mother Earth.
Also, we have Ms. Cynthia Maulawekodowu from BTL Africa and the founder of HR Network Africa.
To people in some offices, and I know for a fact in some government offices, some individuals have never had the opportunity to be selected for any training.
Also, we have Madame Yvonne Redu Akpabili, a seasoned HR professional.
Don't put it in the middle of your finger. Lift it with just the 4 fingers. It is highly aimed.
And then we have Mr. Eric Kojovan S., also coming from the Bank of Africa, Ghana.
So the focus of our HR we are doing now is we are managing emotions and people's needs. Because within these 4 categories or these 4 generations, the one common thing amongst all of them is that they are all human beings.
Say thank you very much for every participant here. You have made the investment of time and money to be here today, and my prayer is that you leave here well empowered as far as the theme for this conference is concerned.
Very much impacted. It was a very insightful section. I've learned that we have to manage the emotions of our employees and then meet their needs.
A very big thank you to all of our sponsors for gracing this occasion and making this a success. Thank you to Glyco Life Insurance. Thank you to Amenfimine Rural Band for the support. Thank you to Okante Studios for gracing this occasion and capturing the moment. Thank you to Focal Link Tech for making this a success. And thank you to Adom TV for making this a memorable one for us. Follow us on all our socials and keep yourself informed and updated. Sedat Consult, your trusted HR partner.